Good day, one and all. Freckles Graham is here. What's up, everybody? I was just decided to jump on and do a Google Hangout. Just trying to get some people to join me through Facebook here. And I'm kind of rusty. Obviously, or apparently, it's been a minute. And I'm not quite sure if I'm doing it right. La 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 la. So I threw out the invite, I believe. Man, I'm really confused. I don't know why I'm having such a tough time lately, but I am. Do I need to invite from here? Let's see. No. People in this hangout. How do I add people? You. No. No. I don't know if I can do this. Copy. Screen share. Chat. Let's enable chat. Man. Well, it says I'm live. I believe I can be found through my YouTube and my Google. For some reason, I'm just having a tough time figuring this out today. Not real sure what my malfunction is. So, yeah. Let's see, live control room. Backup stream, current rate, broadcast alert. La. Not sure how to do all that. I don't. All right. Well, this may or may not be a fruitless effort. Clicking through all my screens here, trying to figure out how I get people to join. If anybody's watching, which it shows that nobody is at the current moment, but if anybody's watching, I believe I set up the chat so people who are watching can message. Nobody's watching. I have 0 viewers as of yet. So I guess I'll just sit here for a minute. I haven't done this in a while. Usually I just kind of do a video and then post it. I don't want to start spouting off about what I was trying to achieve here, except for I was just trying to communicate with a couple of people. Live time, or whatever you want to say. Real time. So what happens? See, I take some time off to get my head right, and then my head betrays me because I forgot how to do this. Not bad. Okay, here. Let's see if I can add here. Invite people. My circles. Like to invite the public, of course. Friends, family, acquaintances, 9 people who are following. Thank you for following. I don't know, quiet invitation. Invite. Unable to invite public or instead of extended circles. What? Why? Okay. So I can't invite the public. Well, that's freaking fracking gay. And not in the sexual way. Never mind. Anyways, okay. So people have been invited. If you're watching, you're not in my circles, you have to go through a process through Google to set up a profile to join the conversation, or you can watch, and I believe you can message through the chat box that I'm pretty sure is enabled at the side of the video. As soon as I tried to do this, everything kind of got thrown back in my face. I had to run up and take a pair of keys to my mother-in-law, who locked her keys in the car up at the grocery store. I sent out the invite. Yep. Blur. 0 viewers. Come on, y'all. There's my YouTube page. Let's copy that and repost that. Trying to get people here. Just spam the shit out of Facebook here. Oh, kids are rousing. They were all taking a nap, of course, a few minutes ago, but now they're not. So this will be interrupted many times. Nobody on the Google side appears to be available right now. I don't understand why I can't send invites out to the public. It just seems kind of ridiculous that the public can't join. I would like it if random people could join. I'll throw one up to Finn's. Throw one up to this guy. Throw one up to this guy and this guy, and they probably aren't there either. But hey, let's take a shot. A lot of stuff to speak about going on these days, of course, and as people know, those who know me anyways, I have many opinions on many a thing, and it's natural for me to entertain others who may not share the same opinion, because that's how we grow. We share opinions and we learn from each other. Oh, of course, we got a dirty diaper, y'all. Dirty diaper, y'all. This is why I don't do this during the week. And I've had a tough time lately getting stuff together to even host a hangout. I do have plans tomorrow. I'm hosting Chronic and Coffee once again for my homie from Vegas, Real Talk, a.k.a. the Metaphor Messiah, hip-hop artist based out of Las Vegas. I'm going to catch up with him and see how he's been, and he's got a lot of things going on apparently that he would like to share with you guys and others. Doing big things out there in Vegas, so we're going to see where he's at and how he's doing. Anybody else who watches this video later on, anybody who would like to promote their projects, their music, anything else of that nature, anything at all, whatever, man, get at me. I do tend to have a lot of time during the day. It's just hard to kind of get that time to be dedicated strictly to this venture because I have kids. I got an infant and a 3-year-old, and I got to run back and forth to get kids from school and all the good stuff like that. So although the timing may not be perfect for everybody, I can usually find a way to fit you in. If your schedule can meet mine somewhere and we can make it work. Anybody who does watch this, I'd like to, like I said, invite you to join the conversation, share any opinions you may have about anything. What's going on in the world, what's going on with you. You know what I mean? I had to take some time off. We had some issues here in the household that kind of broke me down a little bit. And I had to reserve my energies to deal with that, as well as do the everyday stuff that I was speaking about a minute ago with the kids and everything. A shout out to everybody who plays with me on PS3. Hey, man, you guys ever want to, you got time during the day and you see me on or whatever, join. Let's talk some shit about GTA. Let's talk about where our GTA fun is going as far as the crew and social club and all that good stuff. The bad thing about the whole Facebook, I'm sharing through Facebook, is I don't know if you guys see it right away. Kind of did a little experiment yesterday. I was like, did a little venting, and just curious if anybody even sees my posts, and I don't see a whole lot of people taking part, like as far as commenting or sharing, and especially with my music. I would like it if people shared. And I understand if you don't like it, but hey, man, maybe your friends might. Maybe somebody you kind of know might. I don't know. And other projects, of course, Chronic Coffee, I thought was dead. I'm going to give it a shot again, like I said, with the homie Real Talk tomorrow. I would, okay. A couple of friend requests that I don't even remember sending to you. Okay, whatever. It's kind of hard juggling life and then finding time to actually sit down with people to discuss life. It's kind of a shame, considering everybody's usually attached to their electronic devices at all times, unless they're working. It's kind of rambling on, so there's not any dead space here. Hoping that at least one of the guys I was trying to get to join me will join. If you're watching, Travis, I'm not sure. Nope, it's still showing 0 viewers, so yeah. No. There was a couple of things, of course, that I'd like to bring up once I get somebody lined up to speak with me. There's this thing I seen yesterday, and now it's being shared today about this handcuffing of like a third grader or second grader in school. I don't know the full details, but the gist is that this kid was acting uncontrollably or something in class, and for whatever reason, the police were called, and they felt the need to handcuff this small child. Yeah, stuff like that really pisses me off. As you can imagine, any parent who would, who would get upset about hearing their child. I get upset when I see other people's children treated that way. And of course, there's a lot more going on in the world with the police, unfortunately, that we could discuss. And I got plenty to share from many different aspects, points of view. I've been on good terms mostly with the police. Usually when I run into them, I end up being arrested because obviously, the cops show up when something bad's going on, and usually it's my fault not usually, it has been in the past. Let me rephrase that, because I've been pretty good for the last few years. I haven't been detained for any reason. Kind of turned a corner a while back that, has helped me keep my head and not put myself in situations with people that I might be. Hey, can you run this downstairs for me, sweetheart? You want to put that in the trash? Be careful though, because it's icky. Yeah. Thank you. The police. Anyways, I've always had mad respect for the police. They do a rough job, and they do face certain danger every day. Just got a message. DeVito Exodus. What's up, man? Uganda. He's from Uganda, huh? That's interesting. I don't know you. I just accepted you to my friends list. I'll type you in a second. I'm sure you're not watching, but if you are, just give me a second here. I got my hands full with the kid in my lap. It's really hard to keep a train of thought when so what's just going on. I'll do my best. I've also been in a couple of verbal skirmishes over the last, well, always. Basically, I'm not a troll or anything, but when I see something that I need to speak about, like people share stuff through Google or any other kind of outlet, I do comment on and I share my opinion, and that's only what I'm trying to do is share an opinion, like where I stand, and I take it as an invitation when people share stuff. I take it as an invitation to speak upon it. Send my phone a message and we can link from that. Okay. Let's see. Links. Copy. Well, I'm trying to get this dude Travis up in here. And of course, my hands are tied. Hopefully that worked. To Mr. Travis. I don't know if you see that or not. Still have 0 viewers, so I'm talking to myself still. See if that works, though. Give that a few minutes. Na 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 na. Football's coming up. Any football fans in the house? Anybody's watching? Anybody's down to join Fantasy Football League, dude? That stuff's always fun. Wouldn't mind getting down on that with you guys. I really got it. I got a new computer recently, about a month or two back, and still trying to figure out this whole Mac operating system. It's definitely a little bit different from the Windows laptop that my wife was allowing me to use, and I'm still figuring it out. So as far as like getting links thrown out and how to operate this thing, working it. Type hunt and peck style. Oh no. On there, I don't see. This is what happens when you try to type with one. Hey, what's up, dude? I'm gonna put. Did you have a good nap? Let me put your baby sister down here now. She's got a bottle taken care of. Deep breaths, deep breaths. It's when I get stressed out, when I'm trying to do too much. It stresses me out a little bit. Type. Okay. I'm trying to respond to this person. Who just messaged me, who just friend requested me through Facebook. He's from Uganda, apparently. I don't know. Works at Truck Fit, lives in Kampala, Uganda. Copy. Let's see. Let's copy that, and I'll just share it with him as well for the hell of it. Apologize if this video. I mean, not. I don't want to like self-deprecate. Is that the word? Talk shit about myself, but not many people will watch this. I'm aware of that. I was gonna apologize for how long it's taking, but we'll see how that goes. If anybody even joins, if anybody even watches. Always down to make new friends, new acquaintances, share new ideas. Here, why do you do that? Please don't do that. Okay, you can't lay on top of your sister. Please don't do that. You're too big to lay on her. Understand? Do you understand me? Do you understand me? You're looking right at me, but you're not answering me. The struggle. Ow, geez, the freaking oh man, ow. Okay? Yeah, I'm fine. Dropping my keyboard all over the place. Hopefully that didn't mess anything up. Don't drop it again. I'll try. I only got like I got this keyboard right, and I got a desktop set up now. So I got this 2-foot cord for my keyboard, and my desktop's on the ground, and like I have to be located very close to the dang thing. So I'm sitting on the ground, and if I stand up and I forget to put my keyboard down, it drops. I just dropped it right on my shin, and it's a very sharp metal keyboard. Kind of hurt. So my friend here, my new friend from Uganda, says he likes to talk with people very far from me. I love to talk to people very far from me too. It's always awesome to speak with people from different points of view as far as life, location, because it's always different. How life affects people relates to where you're at and kind of conditions you live in and stuff of that nature. Like the issues that we deal with here in the United States or that maybe I deal with in Arizona may differ from people who live in California or Washington or anywhere else in the U.S. or, of course, across the world. I can only imagine. I try to keep up the state of affairs as much as possible, as much as the news outlets allow me to, anyways. So I'd love to hear from you, sir. If you are seeing this, if you see my link, please feel free to join anytime. Still nobody's joined yet. I want to shoot out a couple more. Ah, schnipple. Just opened up the dang video in the separate window, so it threw me off for a second. So I'm yammering on and on until hopefully some people join us. Join me. I don't know if you could join, but I wouldn't mind if you did. Damn it, I did it again. I keep trying to copy a link, but I end up opening the window on accident. Adam's on his mobile. He probably can't join. I wonder if you can. I don't want to say your name right away, so I'm just going to send you the link here in hopes that you see it and that you may join. I'm just going to send out all sorts of Spanish here. The more the merrier. I don't know if the cell phone. I know you probably could watch through your cell phone. Obviously, I don't have a cell phone like I used to, but I don't have. I've never had one of those newfangled whirly gadget. You know what I'm saying? I don't have a smartphone, so to speak. I really don't think they're that smart. Actually, I kind of tend to feel that the smartphone is doing the opposite of keeping people smart. La la la, la la la. I would like to see, just for the sake of it, let's see if I can screen share and see how this works. Can you see that? I want to see if the audio comes through. I probably have done this in the past. I just don't remember if it works or not. As far as the audio goes, open up my SoundCloud real quick. And let's just play a random track and see if that comes through or not on the video. Yeah, I don't think it's... Anyways, I'll see through the video if it does or doesn't. Send a message out. You guys can see my screen now. Yeah, I got a lot of different threads on my SoundCloud. Curious if that showed up or not. Here, let me click on it and find out. Can hear a little bit, huh? If anybody knows how to help out with that work and shares audio, that'd be kind of cool. It's not that great. Obviously, I think you're just hearing it because my headphones are really loud, just the way I like them. Half deaf. Mr. Half Deaf. You ain't looking, and whatever, man. Where's everybody at? Where's everybody at? Everybody at? Hey, I have one viewer. Hey, one viewer. Hello. I believe if you're viewing, you should be able to send me a message through my group chat. No, I lost him. Damn it. Oh, but that's probably me anyways. I was probably watching myself. It's hilarious. Well, the good thing is I don't have to be anywhere for a number of hours. So we'll just keep on rolling with it. I believe we can do this for up to 8 hours. I would not know how to fill that much time up, and obviously I wouldn't want to keep it rolling indefinitely with a bunch of gibberish, but who cares? I'm not wasting your time if you're not watching it, right? Like, let's see. Hold on. Yeah, see, he's on his cell phone, so he probably can't join. Ribbit. Excuse me. Yada, yada, yada. I wish the people would join. I'm talking to myself. Won't anybody join me? Somebody join me. Invitation posted. What's a quiet? I don't want a quiet invitation, do I? Probably not, right? Send an invite. No, we don't want. Do we want a quiet? I don't know. One of the reasons why I started doing the Google Hangout is quiet invites won't ring and interrupt those logged in. Everyone you invite will be sent a notification to stream posts, and Google Plus invites will be with more than 25 people are always quiet. Okay. Sure. Well, I don't have 25 people here. That's for sure. I have myself. And we are only 3. Me, myself, and I. So, hey, one viewer, if you are not me, I'm pretty sure I closed that window. Hopefully I'm not giving myself a statistic where I don't deserve it. If you are watching and you can type something, please let me know that you're receiving this. If you can. Like, I don't know how that works if you're watching through mobile or not. But there is a group chat set up on the side. Please feel free to drop me a message here. I think I can do hello, viewer. Hello, viewer. Ping. There we go. So I just sent the message on the right-hand side. I can see it. Hopefully you can see it. I appreciate you watching. I would love some things to speak with about. I mean, hey, she's all good, man. I know, but it's all gone, so she doesn't need it. You know what I mean? Don't force her to take it. Leave her be. Okay? If you can comment, drop me a comment on the side over there and give me something to yammer on about. Otherwise, it's just me talking. This, it is empty. Will you put the lid back on it? So my main purpose was to just reach out and talk with a couple of people. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I was trying to get one guy who's been reaching out. He's been wanting to Skype, and I do have the ability to Skype. I just, yeah, you go find your pretty lips. I was trying to find out, work out the rest of the whole Google Hangout thing. I'm going to try to live broadcast. I was going to try to live broadcast, let me say, interview with the homie Real Talk tomorrow. But what I think I'm going to do is record it and edit it into a video worthy of his time and your guys' time. So, hello, viewer. If you can type a message, please type a message. I would like to know if this is working or not, and that'd be helpful if you could. I'm a novice. I'm a rookie at this thing here, and I don't know where it is. Did you? It's probably downstairs. You probably left it downstairs. Yeah, go check it out. She carries around chapstick. She loves chapstick. She calls it pretty lips. You gave her chapstick because otherwise she'd be eating lipstick all day. Do. I do know that you can join if you have Google. If you have a Google profile, Google Plus, whatever it may be, set up. I have had my wife join me via her cell phone before, so I know it's possible.
to the zoo.
Cool, man. I want to go to the zoo too.
Yeah, you come too.
The zoo's pretty cool, right?
I know. And we saw animals.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's where they keep the zoo or keep the animals at out here. Speaking of animals in the wild, there was something that I seen today that was locally based, having to do with the Salt River, and there's been this group of horses that have been living in the wild. I don't even know how long, but ever since I can remember, I've seen them. They traverse they run wild around the Salt River, and apparently, wildlife management, whatever the heck that means, is trying to round them up and move them somewhere else because they're. I don't even know why. I don't understand their logic behind it. They said something about they're running up into camps for food and they're getting hit on the highway or something like that, but it seems kind of ridiculous to me. Hello, dear. If you're watching, see my wife's on. It's probably on her lunch break. She probably is my one viewer. She's always got me as far as that goes. If anybody lives in Arizona, and I'm sure it won't be hard to find. There's some. Maybe I can find it right now and share that. Okay. Why don't you go see what your sister's doing, man? That'd be cool. You know what I mean? This is why I can't sit down and do anything. Hey, look, here it is. Here's all right.
Come on, Dad, let's go to the zoo.
We're not going to the zoo right now.
Let's go to snow. Let's go to snow.
Sure. Let's go in the snow someday.
Yay!
Okay. Let me screen share. Screen share. Screen share. Entire screen, yes. All right, I'm going to throw up this thing that I seen here. Yada, yada. Forest Service will not immediately remove Salt River horses. Oh, thanks. That's great. Play this video right here. Maybe you guys can catch a glimpse of that. Probably, I don't know if you can hear the sound or not, but I'll just. Damn commercials. Come on, RNS mattress. We don't care. Get out of my face. That's right, 103 degrees. That's how hot. There's the horses right there. See if you guys can hear this or not. What?
Supporters of the herd believe they've been here in the forest for hundreds of years. The government considers them stray livestock, and that's why, when it comes to protecting them, the Forest Service says its hands are tied. It's an awe-inspiring view in danger of being erased. President of the Salt River Wild Horses Management Group, Simone Netherlands, got emotional as she captured images of the herd near Saguaro Lake.
This is an absolutely alienating thing that our government is planning.
This week, the group was devastated to learn the Forest Service was planning to round up the herd for removal. The horses are protected by federal law, and as this notice states, are considered unauthorized livestock. If they aren't claimed by August 7th, they can be captured, auctioned off, and even disposed of.
That didn't kill them. That's what disposed of.
A representative from the Tonto National Forest Service told World News the agency isn't authorized to manage the horses, and removing them is for public safety, citing highway accidents involving horses, and because the animals frequent a popular recreation area, they fear visitors will end up getting hurt. So far, no injuries have been reported.
They're just peaceful in there, so I think they're pretty open. It's not worth the terror to them.
I haven't seen them running around kicking cars, so I'm sure they're fine.
It's manic. It's manic. That attitude has to change before there are none left.
The The Forest Service also said, while the notice listed this Friday as the beginning of the removal process, they have no immediate plans to begin a roundup and actually have a year to finalize those plans. Advocates are hoping they can work with the government to find what they consider to be a more humane option. Reporting from the Tonto National Forest, Priego 12 News.
Okay, well, that's not fucking funny to me. Damn it. That hurts my feelings a lot. They just said apparently they've been around for hundreds of years, but now they're worried about injuries, even though there's been none reported. Bullshit. And what are you gonna do? You're gonna round them up and then kill them or sell them? Like, what the fuck is wrong with this world? And I don't want to get centered on what's more important. This is just an issue that has been brought up. And I know people are, well, who cares about this or that? We got bigger things going on. If we don't take time to look at stuff like this, then what do we have time for? Because that's a big deal to me. Like, that's a natural thing. And how dare anybody try to control that? Or they're not livestock. Livestock is something that is owned and treated and, kept and, in my opinion, I mean, that's something I don't understand. What's the problem now, Arizona? Like, what are you doing? I doubt it'll go anywhere because I'm willing to bet that enough people will get involved with that, and there's a petition out and stuff like that. Then things are going to protect them. Hopefully, let's hope so. But damn it. And obviously, there's some assholes out there. I've known a few who have actually attempted to interfere with those horses or tried. They attempted. Let me just leave it. They attempted. They were deterred. There's only a couple of pricks out in the world who would do something that would endanger them, the wildlife out here, anyways. And they're not a threat to us. And if anything, we're a threat to them. And fuck who owns or quote unquote owns the land. Let's leave it to the horses. They own the land. Nobody owns the land, but if wildlife is there, they own it. We don't. We don't own that. We're just using it. We're renting it. We're whatever you may say. So anybody's watching, let's get behind that. Let's stop that. There's apparently a petition on change.org. Let me see if I can bring it up. Stop the annihilation of the Salt River wild horses on change.org. I'll just read this. As published by Salt River Wild Horse Management Group, press release, media advisory press conference at 5 p.m. on Tuesday, August 4th. To hold a press conference today at 5 p.m. The Forest Service has rejected a 50-page humane management proposal from the Salt River Wild Horse Management Group and has posted a public notice of roundup and removal starting on August 7th, 2015. What is the 7th? What day is the 7th? It's Friday. Okay. Friday. I wonder if I can get out there and help that not happen. Reportedly, the Forest Service will use helicopters to round up the horses, which can prove deadly to newborn foals and older horses. The river is treacherous in places, and the Salt River Wild Management Group fears for the safety of the historic herd. Then what are you going to do? Why? Okay, but the Salt River Wild Horse Management Group has submitted a 50-page proposal to the Forest Service, setting forth the humane and sustainable management protocol for the iconic wild horses, which includes humane birth control. No, but are shocked to find out humane birth control. That's like one of those redundant phrases that people use these days. Humane birth control. What's humane about birth control? Nothing. You know what I'm saying? But are shocked to find out that it has apparently been ignored and roundups will start immediately. And there is a petition here. And here, I'm going to share that. I'm going to share that because right now I'm going to sign this petition. I'm going to sign this petition as you guys watch. or the one viewer watches anyways. Thank you, one viewer. So here's the petition, change.org. You can probably find it. Stop the annihilation of the Salt River wild horses. I'm going to sign it. I'm signing it optional. I'm just going to say, hey, this isn't our call to make. Even B. You know, and it doesn't, and I'm going to share that with the Facebook friends. There's already 118 supporters. Another 12,000 is needed to reach 50,000. I don't know what that will accomplish if we get that many, but let's do it. Let's do it anyways. You know, when we do things like this and we make our opinions known and it doesn't work, then we know we have a situation that needs to be dealt with on a different level. It's like sending what happened recently when we sent a petition to the White House and they rejected it. I can't remember now. Dang it. But like all it takes for the White House to notice something, or the president, let me specify, is 100,000 signatures on a petition for supposedly for the White House or whoever's in charge to take a look at it and to make a decision to act on it. And there was one recently where they rejected it. 100,000 people sent in their thoughts on something and it was rejected. And I can't remember now, but when I do remember, I will bring it up. You don't get to reject it, though. You know what I mean? Like 100,000 people called your attention to something. You don't get to say no to it. Who do you think you are to deny something? Supposedly you're elected to represent the people, right? So why don't you represent the people the right way and listen to our voice and take action? Not in vetoing or pushing us to the side, but by actually hearing our voice and doing the right thing, Mr. President. You know what I mean? So that one's close to home. Tonto National Forest. Let's see how many people, hopefully all you guys who are local will take part in that. And even if you're not local, sign the petition anyways. I mean, if you care about wildlife and overreach of the government to try to, you know, dabble in things which they shouldn't be dabbling in, sign that petition. It's on change.org. Check it out. You know, I want to say unfortunately, but not. It's not unfortunate. This is the only out. What's the word? This is the way I can act from where I'm at right at this moment, right? Like when I share things like this and I ask for people to help out, it's because I can't go and do something else about it. So sharing things like this is important, especially when you're spending so much time already on stuff like this, you know, looking at videos or liking dumbass posts. You know, shit like this is important. This is stuff that could actually make a difference. So take the time out, you know, sign a petition, leave a message, create one of your own if you have an issue that you want to share. There's so many ways that we can make our voices heard without being ridiculous. And we don't even have to protest in the streets. Like, obviously that has to be done as well, because if our voices aren't heard when we're trying to move calmly, like by signing petitions and everything like that, then the next step will be being in the public and raising awareness through the public, right? And standing on the street corner with your signs and letting people who may not see the posts and everything, let them hear your voice and let them see some things that they may not otherwise see. Activism, it's important. Be active about things you care about. Help people be active about things they care about. Support your friends and family when they have things that need to be shared and you know, for the greater good. When did this society, I don't know if it ever was not a selfish society, but when did this society become so freaking selfish that all we do is play fucking games and not take part in things that matter? And I would like to be more involved on the street level and in the public, but my schedule doesn't really exactly allow that. Like I can't afford a babysitter. Obviously, I would be at work probably if I could, or if I could have a babysitter and go take part in something like a protest or something, then I would. And this is one way where we can do it. Incoming call. Incoming call from Houston, Texas. I probably don't care what you have to sell, and I'm not interested. Goodbye. 866 numbers get that treatment every time. I didn't call you. Don't call me. Still rambling on. Still one viewer. I was trying to get people to join, and I see all you guys right here on the side of my friends list. You're online right now. You're online right now, and you're not watching. Come on, man. This is the type of shit that pisses me off. What else are you doing? Are you checking your messages and who likes what of your statuses? And let's get involved, people. Let's get involved. This is, Breaking Borders was an idea to do just that. Let's break down the walls that divide us, the invisible ones, the physical freaking walls, all the ideas that keep us divided. Let's break those shits down and come together and have a conversation. It's not that hard. You spend a little less time doing nonsense that you do anyways. And you're doing nonsense when you're checking your apps and you're fucking punching away and you like this and you're commenting on that. You know what? Make yourself worthwhile while you're doing that. Like, don't scroll past it. Hit it. Like it. Comment on it, share it. And I'm not just talking about, shit like my music or my YouTube. I'm talking about real live shit, like shit that matters. Everyday shit that matters, because, it shows your complacency and it shows you're apathetic when you don't. And that's not what this civilization is supposed to be about. And I say this civilization, I mean, like, especially America. Freedom, man. We have freedom of speech. We have freedom to convey how we feel about things, and the power of protest is huge. It could stop so much if we just all come together or figure out some way that we can conversate on things. We don't have to always reach like an end point. We don't have to come up with a solution necessarily, but just by conversating and sharing ideas is going to create change. It's going to create a change in your mind, other people's minds. It's going to create change in policy if enough people get behind it. And these are things that I care about, creating a change, creating policy changes, how people are treated is important, how people are, everything. Think about it, every level, it can be changed just by action, and any action is important. Small, big, whatever. Voice your opinion, one way or the other, for or against. Nobody's going to fault you if you're against it. You got a cookie? No, I don't want that. Thank you. I'm not going to bust your balls if you don't agree with me, because it doesn't hurt my feelings if you're not in agreement. I respect it. And I respect people who have what's the word I'm looking for? Has the not the decency, but the courage enough to stand up and share their opinion, whether or not it's an agreeable one. Some of my friends, like I'm looking at my Facebook feed right now, and one of the homies is like, shout out to California senators that voted to keep funding Planned Parenthood. What's up, man? You got something to speak about? Let's jump on and speak about Planned Parenthood. I've had interactions with Planned Parenthood, unfortunately. It's not, it's not always a good thing, of course. If you're going to Planned Parenthood, there's something going on there, but there are also good things that could be said about Planned Parenthood. It's not just about abortion. And I know it's been kind of tainted lately with these new videos they put out with portrays a meeting where people are buying and selling fetus parts. Like, that's disgusting. I don't care who you are. If you don't find that fucking disgusting, like, what are they doing with those parts? It's fucking wrong, right? Like, whatever led up to that point, not necessary to discuss. You can't point fingers at whoever decided to do something. There's no point in shaming somebody to that end. But let's shame the people who are selling fucking body parts. Let's shame that. Like, that's not right. Like, why are you selling it? And if you're making a profit off of death, and this goes for anything, for as far as I'm concerned, military, government, medicine, you're making profit off of death, fuck you. In the neck all day. That's a sick, twisted fucking setup right there. And I know it's real, and you know it's real, and you can't deny it. Anything that stays in power or stays making money off of people's misfortune is fucked. And shit like that needs to be changed. You know how it's going to change? By people coming together and speaking against it and telling them it's time to change. Let's just tell them it's time to change. And if they don't want to listen then, you know, then we step up our actions, and then we go with the protesting, and then we go with the public outreaching, and, you know, and if that doesn't work, hell, I don't even want to comment on what we got to do next, but you already know. You already know. Still waiting for people to join. Rambling on and on here for quite a while, haven't I? Impressing myself. Just kidding. I'm just saying, like, I found some things to speak about when I didn't think I would have anything to say with nobody being here. But I have a voice and I have opinions, so really it's not that hard. Let's decide to do it. And damn the repercussions. Like, if you're scared to speak out and share your opinion, and stand up for what you believe is right, then it's a sad state of affairs. Have no fear. Have no fear. Yeah, a lot of people liking the comment. I'm sharing my YouTube thing here, and people are liking it. I don't want you to like it, man. Get on with me. What else are you doing right now? Get on with me. Send me a message. Jump on here and talk with me. Nut up. Shut up. You know what I mean? And if you're female, you don't have to nut up, but you know, it's a metaphor for just get real, man. Get real. So apparently the Senate Dems successfully blocked GOP bill defunding Planned Parenthood. This whole divide and conquer thing, you guys, we really have to put an end to this shit. The political system that we have in place here in the United States, if you're not awake to the reality of how fucked up our political system is, god damn it, I don't understand what it's going to take. What the fuck is it going to take? You want to sit around and you want to vote and then complain about some shit every 4 years? That's not enough. We have to demand a restructuring of that. Okay, the Electoral College is not fucking working. Do you know that we get to vote for our governors and our mayors and our local officials, but when it comes to voting the fucking president, our votes really don't matter. The Electoral College takes care of that for you. They decide, and nobody even knows who these people are. And I'm guessing it's probably like a small circle of really rich fucking lobby fucking corporations, whatever, who decide who they want to run. Like the Republicans showing up at the Koch fucking brothers invitation yesterday. 15 candidates showed up. Every single one of those fuckers who showed up to the Koch brothers to beg for funding If you vote for them, you're a fucked up motherfucker. That's all I can say. And that's my opinion. I don't care if you like it or not. I really don't. These people are begging for money in hopes that they can become president. You don't need money to become president. Money shouldn't elect you. The people should. What the people want, not the corporations, not banks, not military, the people. And we've lost touch with this. And I don't know what it's going to take for the majority of the people to wake up. A lot of us see it and disagree with it. But you're disagreeing with policy. You're not disagreeing with the machine. Like, you're not doing anything to change the machine, dude. Step the fuck up and do something about the machine. The machine has to be disassembled for any change to take place on that. And that's not treason. I'm just calling for a restructuring of the way things work on the higher ups. Okay, you vote for your senators, you vote for Congress members. But that's where it stops, right? Bullshit. It's not effective to complain about it. It's time to do something about it. It's time to demand the change. It's time to make sure that the change happens. Because it's like they throw a bunch of people at you and like, here, pick the less offensive person to be your president. But then we're not even choosing that. We're just suggesting who we want. That's not enough. That's not democracy. Maybe it is. Maybe we've all been fooled to believe that democracy is just that. That we suggest who we want, and maybe the powers that be will allow it. That's how it truly is. That's how our democracy seems to be working, right? It's all suggestion. I really still hoping some people will join here. I'm kind of rambling on and on. I'm getting tired of hearing my own voice. Kind of get tired of hearing my own voice, so I'd like to have a conversation with some people. What are you doing over there, baby? Shoot a message over to this dude, see if he's available. Otherwise, I'll probably call it a fucking day and then come back tomorrow with the interview that I have planned. Can't spend all day sitting here on the computer, that's for sure. Drives me nuts. The energy that I receive back, like, from the internet just riles me up, man. Because it's all one-sided. Like, I have to take information and process it. But on the other end, there's like no release or conversation, about it. It's like, digest this. It's hard to digest. Anyways. Give it another few minutes here before I call it quits. Like I said, anybody who watches this, leave me some comments. Let me know that you want to be part of the next conversation. Leave me some comments and stuff, and let me know if you want to be part of the next conversation. Anybody would join me. If anybody would join me, that'd be fantastic. Come on, people. Oh, apparently none of my circle members are on right now. Doesn't surprise me, I guess. They rarely are. Like, I don't even talk to half any of these people anymore. It's ridiculous. It's like they forgot about me or something. Or they just they're doing other things, which I could understand. Yep. Breaking internal borders. Yeah, let's see. I've had 24 views, 16 views, 5 views, 5 views. It's kind of sad, man. Like, how come more people don't want to get involved? And like, I kind of take it personally. Obviously, I do. Like, I reach out and I reach out and I reach out, and when I don't get anything back, it irritates the shit out of me. And why wouldn't it? Right? Like, you're putting forth the effort to communicate or share or engage, and it's met with fucking silence, just crickets. And so many different levels. I feel that way with the music, with the the breaking internal borders, all that stuff. So I keep slowing down because I'm like reading. I need to stop looking at this page. Is what I need to do. What I need to do is sign out because there's nobody else getting on here. Come on, people. What else are you doing right now? What else are you doing right now? See, like you were just on. How come you don't join? Maybe you're not in my circles anymore. Well, that shows that you're still friends. Maybe you got rid of me. I don't know. Okay, well, fuck. I gave it a shot, right? Looks like I do have another viewer. Hey, it's probably the same person. What's up? If you can write a message in the chat, that'd be great. Let me know what you're thinking. Any questions, suggestions, whatever it may be. It'd be awesome to have you join in the conversation that I'm having by myself. I don't really like hearing myself talk as much as people may think. This is an attempt to engage. Send out another invite to the circles. I've been running about half an hour now at least. I think I'm getting pretty close to being sick of listening to myself. Oh, I do see messages. Okay, that's weird. I just see that the homie Exulus did message on the YouTube thing, but it didn't come through on the actual Hangout. So, like I said, I don't really know how this thing works. It says he's working. So you did. Hey, thanks, Exulus. If you're the one watching, I see your message. I didn't see it on the Google Hangout, so I'm still trying to figure out how this thing works. Right? You know, 2 jobs I imagine is rough. I worked 2 jobs once, one day, and I quit the second job like immediately. It's just too much. Thank you, the 2 people who are watching. I appreciate that. And it's probably the homie Exulis and my wife Rachel. Thank you guys. I was trying to start it up, trying to have a discussion with somebody off of Facebook. Purely lighthearted. In case you're wondering, yeah, there's no issues. Everything's good at home. Kids are good, taking it easy. But it doesn't appear like anybody else is going to join me here, so I'm probably going to call it quits here in the next few minutes or so. Write a message to my wife real quick. About time to take a smoke break or whatever, man. We're probably going to do that since nobody's really participating in the conversation. I mean, you are. I seen your stuff, Zulus, your message there. But I hear somebody.
What's up?
Yo!
What are you up to?
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, I can hear you.
What are you up to, brother?
I don't have a mic hooked up or anything. It's just my laptop upstairs. And now I got landscapers outside. God.
You're all good. It ain't that bad.
Right on. Got leaf blower going and shit. So what you been up to?
Shit, man. Same old thing.
Did you hear about the Planned Parenthood vote today?
Yeah, it was kind of. I brought that up briefly a few minutes ago. Guess that was voted down to stop defunding.
Yeah, thank God. Or some supreme being. Whoever your choice in gods may be. Or if you're an atheist, then no God. Just think whatever.
Thank the people, right?
Thank the people, yeah. Right.
Okay, so since I got you on here, we'll talk real quick about that. How do you feel? Like, was that a smear campaign? Like,
Completely smear campaign. That video was edited. They took hours and hours of footage. Not to mention, I don't know if you watched Democracy Now! At all, but the group that was responsible for doing it was here in California, is going to be investigated by the FBI because what they did is they stole another lady's ID, basically. They stole her, basically, you know what I'm talking about. And they got a credit card, her name and everything. It turns out that the one guy that's the head of that group, he went to school with her, and she was the feminist group, and then he's of course a very conservative, like pro-choice, pro-lifey, and so they literally got credit cards in this lady's name and stuff. And so when she went to log in to check her credit stuff, it's all locked and everything because they've been using her identification. So, you don't hear any of the major news outlets reporting on that, but yeah, they're being investigated by the FBI as we speak.
So I didn't really watch too much of that video because I was like, I don't want to put my energy forth towards that. But I got the gist of it. Like, they were trying to do an undercover sting against Planned Parenthood and bust them for selling body parts and stuff. Like, do you think that's a real deal? Like, what are they doing?
Well, they don't sell the body parts. They sell parts of the fetus, and it's for stem cell research. Basically, it's it's to cure other diseases and stuff. And the other thing is they don't just sell every single body part, because they don't sell any body parts at all. They sell parts of the fetus, but you had to give them consent. So everything that they sold, which they didn't sell, they were just recouping their money for and they're probably actually losing money on it. Basically, was for some form of research. It had nothing to do with, like, the way they made it. It's a complete smear campaign. There's nothing else more that can be said about it. The New York Times had an article about it as well, and Times is actually a reputable source besides of their coverage on leading up to the Iraq War, and that would be because of the reporter Judith Miller. You've probably heard of her, but yeah, it was a complete smear campaign. Fox News.
Fucking Fox News, FAUX.
Yeah, and just the way they went about it. I mean, if you looked up the facts on Planned Parenthood, Number one, there's no taxpayer money used in abortions, period. It's completely funded by outside sources, private entities. It's actually only 2% of what Planned Parenthood does. It's such a low number when you consider all the other things that Planned Parenthood actually does. So, goddamn. And fucking
And-
landscapers, dude.
Yeah, it looks like I'm having some issues with the computer as well. But so unfortunately, I've been to Planned Parenthood in the past, and like I know that it's not just about trying to get little, I don't know how to word it without being offensive, but they don't just want to abort babies. Like they try to deter people from.
No, it's about planning a parenthood. So it's just ridiculous, the whole notion that that this had anything to do with Planned Parenthood. I think maybe I lost you. But anyways, I'm going to go on and mention some of the facts of Planned Parenthood here, just so that we can lay them out right now. So people actually know what it is. It's, because these videos were so misleading and they were so edited that it just has nothing to do with Planned Parenthood. So number one, Planned Parenthood does not sell body parts. They only are covering the costs associated with collecting and transporting the tissue. This would be tissues from the fetus. These aren't body parts. It's not like you're selling a leg or something like that. So, Planned Parenthood does not profit from tissue donation, and it requires clear consent from the patient for tissue donation, meaning that if you were a patient that had an abortion, obviously the tissue was donated because you felt that you wanted to, go on to research, just like you would do on your driver's license if you signed up and said, hey, I want my body parts to be used after I die. I'll give you one case, would be the lady when she found out at 5 weeks that her baby had spina bifida. You're going to have the baby born, or, this is a big decision for people, and this is why the women's right to choose prevails, and she chose not to have the baby, and then they donated the body parts, which is actually just the tissue, for research, to help the cause, basically. And I'll go on and say that the tissue donations are used to study and develop treatments for diseases and conditions like HIV, hepatitis, congenital heart defects, retinal degeneration, and Parkinson's disease, just to name some of them. And then the biggest fact is no federal funding is used to provide abortions. So that was just a little bit of what I had for you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, sorry about that. It kicked me out of my own damn hangout. You're still on air, so I'm glad you kept talking.
Yeah, I went on and explained exactly the 4 facts that I had listed before that about Planned Parenthood. That's completely facts. These aren't just fiction like Fox is making up. So I did a little bit of talking while you were gone for you.
Appreciate it.
So this is a very right-wing strategy of basically getting abortions defunded. But the funny thing is that no federal funding is actually used to provide abortions. So
I did find that funny, not to interrupt you, but like their whole attempt to block the funding, who are they trying to, like, so when I hear that the federal government doesn't actually fund it, are they trying to create legislation that keeps us from funding them? Or
they're trying to block the whole entire funding. They're trying to defund the whole entire funding for Planned Parenthood, which would be, all the services that I've used or you've used. I mean, me and my wife have been there and gotten, the mammograms and stuff. Like, we've gotten stuff for free there, free condoms, things like that. We've never had an abortion, so it's just kind of like you're defunding a health service that's really, it's free and it's provided to everybody, like health service probably should be, instead of what we have now. And the whole thing is just absolutely misleading. I mean, to think that you would have defund a whole federal agency based on the whole, we're selling body parts for abortions when they don't even use federal funding for abortions is pretty ridiculous. It's actually just absurd. And just to think that our legislative branch wasted its time on that is even more absurd. So these assholes get paid. Some of these senators are richer than rich, and they're freaking voting on this crap. So, luckily my senators from California are both women, so they voted against it, but I will mention that Dianne Feinstein is one of the richest people in the state of California, and she is one of our senators. So it just leads back to money and what these people really want to put on the plate. If they were interested in people, they'd be talking about, universal health care and stuff, services that would actually benefit the people, not defunding stuff that's benefiting people.
What do you think it takes away from them if they're trying to defund something? Is it because they're not getting a piece of it, or are they trying to like?
No, they're doing it based on that video and just acting. It's all once back again to trying to get rid of any sort of funding for abortions. But like I said, the problem is that there's no federal funding used to provide abortions. So really, you're talking about completely misleading people into defunding something based on principle that you have, and I just don't agree with it. I can say like maybe I don't agree with the Muslim religion or something like that, but at the same time, I'm not voting to defund it, So
Right.
it's a really strange way that they went about it. And I'd say that the article in the New York Times was really good. And then, of course, the reporting that Democracy Now! Did on it was really good, too. And, these are really discussions about facts. This isn't like a video that's been cut and clipped. I mean, I can go make a GTA 5 video and clip it to anything that I want right now. And so we can clip out parts of this conversation and make it look like I was, pro-life instead of pro-choice. So it's one of those things that they were able to do. And, senators are stupid, obviously, and they go for it. So some of them might not have all the facts, but it just seems like in this day and age that it would be pretty easy to get the facts on it. So,
Well, while we're speaking of our quote unquote elected officials, because apparently we still vote for senators and everything like that. That's not like the president, which is electorally college voted in, and like our votes really don't matter at that point. But why are these people not paying attention to the people they represent? Like, I mean, okay, I get the conservative, like, oh, let's stop abortion because we're all Jesus fucking freaks and death is immoral and thou shalt not kill, and every fetus has the right to live. But why the fuck are they not paying attention to what the people want? Because like overwhelmingly, I think, maybe I'm wrong, people want to leave people alone, let them have the choice to do what they want, right? It would seem.
I agree with that, and I just don't really understand like what the consensus is to do something like what they're doing, other than wasting time because you're getting paid, And I just think that what our government concentrates on is the wrong things. I mean, obviously, you form a government to provide for the people. You don't form it to do everything that the government is doing at this point. So I don't know. I really don't have a great answer for that. But at the same time, I mean, I will say that the Republican representatives in general are the strangest group I've ever seen. I mean, they don't support Planned Parenthood or a woman's right to choose and want every kid born, even if they're raped into it. But at the same time, they don't support any public assistance programs like workfare, which is actually welfare now because Newt Gingrich has way with it for single parents and struggling families or a decent living wage. So it makes no fucking sense. They want every baby born, but they don't want to support any programs that would assist people once they're born. So I just don't get it. And then also, if you looked at modern day, medical and what it's done for us, I mean, every baby is born because half people have a C-section. We really went to God's will. Well, God's will wasn't to have every baby. There was that big, huge percentage that never got born, stuff like that, because, we're able to provide medical care now, C-sections and things like that. Every baby can almost be born. And I don't think half these babies should have been born, So back to that once again, it's just incredible, the whole mentality of people that want to have every kid, but then at the same time, they don't want to fund any public assistance programs that would help people out once they had kids. So big, huge disconnect there from the Republican Party. And this is a predominantly Republican thing here. I mean, I'm not a Republican at all. I'm Green Party. I pretty much caucus with really liberal Democrats. And I don't agree with Republicans in any way. And I'm sure you've seen my Facebook before. I've outright just said, fuck Republicans. I mean, just dirty politics.
Yeah. I mean, I think, I don't want to say unfortunately, but I kind of stand in the same, on the same side. Like, apparently, I don't agree with much that they have to say either.
Yeah, I just don't agree with anything they have to say, ever. I'm just like, this is stupid. I mean, I guess the Republican plan would be to have every baby and arm everybody so they can shoot each other or something. I don't really know. I mean, I don't. It's just
I don't
such a disconnect from why would you have a kid? It just everybody should have kids. It doesn't matter. They should all be born. Of course, it's going to take medical procedures to have half these kids because you can't just have a natural kid. You basically have to have a C-section at this point. If the baby's turned or whatever, you got to go into C-section. It's just like these are things that weren't available up till what? I mean, how long has a C-section been around? It's like you can look back maybe 50 years, maybe 100 at the most. Just like so, I just don't think they can state God's will and everything, but God's will and what the Republican will is two different things.
I'm having issues with my computer right now. Damn it. Google Hangouts is sketchy as fuck.
Yeah, Google Hangouts doesn't really work too well, to be honest. I didn't even know how to get on it until I seen finally when I logged into YouTube, I saw a pop that was like, "You've been invited to Google Hangout," and then I could click on it. But before that, I couldn't see it at all. Like I didn't get an email or anything. That's why I was like, "Oh, what's going on?"
Yeah, like it's just kicked me out. I've had to open and close the video chat 3 or 4 times, and I've had this issue before, and I've taken part of other Hangouts. It's
Well,
weird.
they are working on it. They're trying to refine it a little bit better. They're actually working on the whole thing. Some of it, I know on my end with the Google app on my phone, it sucks right now. Like they changed the YouTube thing, and it's really hard to see the comments or anything. Whereas before, I could watch it, I could see all the comments as they came through and everything. So who knows what's going on? They started a live streaming thing on YouTube now, and it's like you use the same key. It's more like what is it, Twitch. So every time you stream, it's just the same thing. Your channel starts. Whereas before, you used to have to go in and set up every different stream. So they're trying to streamline it. And I was actually invited to the Google Hangouts launch up in San Bruno, but I had to work, so I wasn't able to attend because Google's actually been in contact with me over YouTube and stuff.
That's
yeah, because
cool.
I'm partnered with them. So because I had a lot of friends ask me, well, why did Google reach out to you, but they didn't reach out to me? Well, it's because most of my friends are partnered with Curse or one of these other things where I'm actually a Google partner. So
That's pretty
that-
cool.
it hasn't helped my channel though at all. It's they still haven't figured out why I'm not getting monetization, but who knows?
So yeah, well, let's talk about that. You had your other channel there, and you got flagged for some shit or something. What did they try to say you did wrong? Use somebody's music, or what was the
No,
deal?
no, not. It wasn't a flag necessarily. It's when I go and actually publish a video, then it will ask me all this information like, hey, you need to provide us all the rights to everything. What software did you use, whatever. And I mean, I own all the commercial versions. I have bought that on purpose so that I could monetize my content. I mean, you know how it is on YouTube. If you do work and you edit a video for hours, you should be paid for it. And Google's putting ads in it and they're taking money, so why the hell wouldn't you get a cut of it? And so I think I don't really know what happened because I don't have any copyright violations per se or anything, but then they just started this crap with me. They just keep on going it. I mean, the latest would be that toilet paper video that I made, and they literally made me submit all this stuff. I mean, I had to submit the program that I used to edit the video with. I had to submit the pictures, the font that I used, everything, and they still said I wasn't monetized. So it's just really weird. Not really sure. Kind of off topic from breaking international borders, but
Yeah, no, it's all good. It's all good. I mean, that's what we're here for, and just discuss whatever and share opinions and difficulties. Like obviously, I'm not on the probably the same level as you. You're actually pretty successful with your YouTube channel. You got a lot of followers. People are watching your thing. I don't understand why they would give you a hard time when you're doing all the fucking work. What do they need to know? What programs you use? Like you uploaded it. It's obviously good enough to go up. Like you're not cheating anybody. What's the fucking problem?
I mean, this video is a picture of me showing how to install a toilet paper roll. So it's my hand, it's my toilet paper, it's my toilet, it's my, it's like it's taken with my camera, and I'm doing it on purpose, to show that I can't monetize anything, even if it's made completely on my own. It's not just video games, which, everybody else is able to monetize video games. So it's pretty odd. I don't really know. I mean, they are working on it, and maybe it will get fixed. I have my doubts, but
Do you
I do have
have
my other.
any speculation as to what the problem might be? Is there something that maybe you've done that they don't agree with, or
I don't really know because I know the companies that I've done videos on, like maybe a Siki TV or something. Why would they care? You know, I mean, it's just more advertising for them. And like Elgato, I found out that they use my video. They tell people to go ahead and check this video out because this is the way you set it up correctly for PS4. I mean, they literally refer my video. You know, they don't kick me back. They don't give me Elgatos or anything. But at the same time, why would they flag it? And I know I haven't been flagged because I can look and there's no copyright violations. So I just don't understand it. Doesn't make any sense. And you know, I use all royalty-free music and I list the credits to, you know, whoever I use and stuff. So it's really odd. But it's definitely affected my channel. It's hurt me a lot. I was probably would be way higher in subs if I had kept on going. And, you know, a lot of people have passed me now and they kind of took what I was doing. And, you know, more power to them for being able to do it. But, yeah, it definitely, you know.
So have they effectively shut down your ability to make money off of your venture or what?
They've definitely affected the ability to make any money off from YouTube for me, which makes me not make any videos. So, and my videos are really helpful. You know, I'm not Triple C or Alpha X. I'm not just gonna go play your race and post it. I mean, I literally showed you how to set up. You know, this is how you use OBS. This is how, you know, and like all my stuff was it's pretty good. I know all my top videos are all how-to videos, basically. Even as far as the game itself, GTA 5, you know, I did a lot of this is how you build a ramp. This is how you do, you know, and that's one of the things that made it popular.
That's messed up, man. I didn't know you were going through some stuff like that. I know we've kind of talked through messages about certain things, but I didn't know you were like that, dude. That's fucked up, bro.
Yeah, it's really affected. It's impacted my ability to even like create anything because like I'm not going to spend the time to edit. Like, say if I wanted to make another Gangland or something, which I thought about doing with, you know, with your MC, it just went, you know, it takes so much time to edit it and stuff, and then I could put it up there, and that would just be for vanity because, you know, you're never going to make anything off it. But it'd still be cool to make something like that.
Right.
I think it's mainly affected my how-to videos because, like, I'm not going to show other people how to do this if I'm not able to do it, you know? I mean, it's like, that's just stupid.
Well, we're talking about that. I appreciate your help on the whole capturing the stuff with your Elgato and putting up so we could do that crew video, man. Thank you for that.
Oh, yeah, that was cool.
Actually,
Yeah.
I actually was on the other day and I had some random kid say, "Hey, man," he was like looking at the patch. He was like, "Oh, I think I saw that on YouTube." I'm like, "Yeah, dude, hell yeah, that's cool. Fuck yeah."
Nice. Yeah, you're the guy who's making your emblems is awesome.
Yeah, Nathan Ellis, man, shout out to that guy. He can do some crazy stuff for that editor, which is awesome because, like, yeah, it's so hard to use, man. Like, they can't, like, just the lettering, dude. How much time he must have took to put in to make the lettering.
Like building it from blocks and like you just keep on
shapes.
Takes forever. Yeah, shape. Yep.
It's crazy.
Yeah, you've got to have hours to be able to do that. Which, you know, back in the day I might have had that time. Now I just don't have any time with the new job and another job on top of that. So, pretty crazy. Did I lose you again? I might have lost him again. Keeps on losing his connection.
Yeah.
Back?
I can hear you, but can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you again.
Okay. Yeah, my video's frozen. I don't know what's going on. It's all tripping out.
Oh, is it? Yeah.
Oh, well. If we could talk, I don't care. I'm happy with that.
Yeah, I can still hear you.
So, man, you worked 2 jobs. How are you doing? You don't have to get into specifics, but I know you said you're working with the airport or whatever. What else are you doing?
Yeah, I'm currently working for Southwest Airlines. Man, it's a union job, so they can. What they do is they mandatory overtime you a lot, and this could be at the end of your shift. They're like, "Hey, you're mandatory overtime right now." So basically, you work another 8 hours, and then you got to be at work the next day, and it just keeps on going on and on and on. And they can do it on your days off as well. So you could work up to 13 days straight before you really get any time off. So I actually took another job with Whole Foods. I haven't started yet. I have to go through the whole background check. But basically, Southwest is like working 2 jobs because you're just insane hours. I mean, I love the company. Unions suck. It's the way the union negotiated the contract. So it really screws the people that are low in the totem pole, like myself, who just came on. All the people that have been there for a while, you know, obviously can bid for hours and they don't have to stay and do this crazy stuff. So it makes it hard to, if you have family life or anything. I really like Southwest. I think it's a great job. I just, if I was younger and didn't have a kid, it'd probably be a lot easier for me to maintain. So I'm getting worried, and that's why I'm taking on the other job. So yeah, 2 jobs for 1. Looks like you dropped out of the chat here. Probably will join back in. Hopefully we'll join back in, because you don't want to hear me talking about crazy stuff, because it could go on for hours and hours and hours.
There it goes.
You back in?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I took a job at Whole Foods too, basically.
That's cool.
Because I'm thinking that the airport thing might not work out with my wife's a registered nurse. You know, she has to work, and my kid's starting preschool. I'm in kindergarten, and so like we gotta pick them up, and you know all about this type of stuff, you know. And it would just be easier if I had a job where I could be Mr. Mom, sort of too.
Man, I've been trying to find a job like that for. I had one for a minute, like a year and a half ago. I was delivering pizzas in the evening and shit, but that didn't work out after the car started acting up. So now I'm back at square one, trying to find something like that where the wife can work and I can get the kids to school, and then maybe I can go to work after all that shit's taken care of. You know.
Do they have Whole Foods there?
Oh, there are. Yeah, I think there are a few Whole Foods. I'm not real familiar with them, but I'm pretty sure we've got like Sprouts. Like, I don't know if that's the same thing.
Oh yeah, that's a lot like it. You know, I heard that they're a good employer too. I know for a fact that Whole Foods is good. I know with me, they just started me part-time, but with the opportunity to go over, if you work over 20 hours, then you're considered full-time, and you can receive medical, retirement, and everything. They matched the wage that Southwest was paying me, which is a little bit over $11, which isn't crap anyways. But you know, it's a cool environment. Healthy food, stuff like that. Part-time, you can work, you know, you don't have to be available every single hour of every single day, and you don't get just forced into working. So it seems like a good job. Sprout would be a good one too if you get a job in there.
Yeah, I don't have anything locally. Unfortunately, I'm like BFE part of the valley, where it takes you 40 minutes to get to the metro part of.
Oh, really?
Like, we're out in the urban area where it's mostly like farmland and shit like around us. There's a bunch of houses and shit, and there's a Walmart, but there's.
Oh, Walmart's a really crappy employer.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, I'm kind of limited too, because there's ways around the whole piss test thing, but I like to smoke weed, so I'm not trying to fucking sign up for a job that's gonna hate on me because that's what I do in my free time. You know, maybe that's selfish. I don't know. I don't really give a shit. But
Yeah. The Whole Foods doesn't drug test though.
that's cool. Keep that in mind.
Background check. They do a background check, but they don't do any.
That screws me too. Unfortunately, I have a pretty shitty rap sheet.
Oh, really?
And I think that keeps me, like, a lot of times when, like, even when there's not a drug test involved, if there's a background check involved, I'm like, you don't give a fuck. You ain't gonna fuck with me. Because if you look at just my rap sheet and you don't, like, you know, look at anything else, I don't look like a real good prospect, I guess. I don't know.
7 years, basically. They ask you if you haven't had a felony in 7 years.
I'm good on
They won't-
felonies, but the other stuff, not so much.
You'd be fine. You'd be fine. They don't ask anything else but that. I think the background check's basically like, I don't really know, man. I mean, I don't have the best credit score or anything like that anymore either. I mean, I've been really hurting on that fact. But I know at the airport, it was a federal background check, and then it was a background check from Southwest Airlines, plus 8-point drug, test too as well, which I passed because I quit smoking weed to do it. So it's like one of those things where, I had to do it to get the job.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's probably one of the hardest background checks you're going to have. So when Whole Foods told me they were in a background check, I kind of laughed. I mean, come on, I just passed a federal background check,
yeah,
an 8-point drug test. So you never know what's going to happen with stuff. But yeah, I seriously think I would not even be an issue background check. So
kind of set up as that anyways. Like if they want to check your credit and everything, and like you're shot down if you have anything bad on any part of your records, like credit or
Well, my
say
credit
you
is
committed a crime or something. Like you can't get a fucking job because most people aren't going to give you a shot.
It basically what okay, so the background check people from Southwest actually contacted me, and the concerns they had is they couldn't prove when the start of the end of my Trader Joe's job went into the job I was doing when I basically signed on with Southwest, which was the LED thing, because the guy I'm working for, we don't have any W-2s or anything. He's just paying me checks, and he's 1099ing me at the end of the year. So I had to like give them all his information and have him write this thing and send it to him. And so I did all that stuff. I filled it out, and they ended up even contacting him, and he was trying to put the good word in for me. And they were like, "Nope, we don't need to know any of that. We just need to know he was employed for this period of time." And so, he did, and I got the job. So I don't know what they're looking for in a background check, and I think it's sort of a waste of money. Same with drug tests. I mean, it's just a big, huge waste of money. Who cares what you do outside of work? I mean, if you want to smoke pot outside of work, I just don't see what the problem is with that. It's kind of a weird system though that we've gotten into these days. That's just kind of the way it is when governments start to control everything, every facet of your life, and then it lets corporations act as governments, which they kind of do. I mean, they own the entire government, so it's a real problem with the money in politics. This leads back to Citizens United, where anybody can donate as much as they want to PAC, and then, well, we know who it's probably the top donors are, the rich people, because they have the money to do that. And people like me and you do not have any money to spend on stuff like this. So that's kind of the way it works. I was talking about PACs and Citizens United and stuff about how rich people are able to funnel money into politics, and me and you are kind of left, outside of the process. And this is why there is drug tests and all this crazy crap that's going on now.
Citizens United. I see that Bernie Sanders is against that. How do you feel about that guy?
I like Bernie Sanders a lot. If he becomes a presidential contender, I will definitely be voting for him. I would supply the caucus for him if I could. I mean, I'm Green Party, though. I'd have to switch to Democrat to get it, but I don't see me doing that. I think there should be more parties than just one. And I can go into a lot of the party things. I know a lot about it. See, each state is a little bit different. And that's why the Green Party is not that strong, because it's only going to be on the ballot in like 20 states, because a lot of these states, it's really hard to get on the ballot. And the reason that it's hard to get on the ballot is because of the Republicans and the Democrats, because they really want to keep it just two parties, left and right, which is great, left and right. But that leaves out the middle, the top and the bottom. It leaves out everything else, I mean, not everybody's cut and dry left and right. And I think that's one of the problems with American politics. And even England has, how many parties does England have? I don't know. We probably could look it up and see. There's probably a lot more than what we have here.
Yeah. Well, no, that switches quite a bit. Like they always have some, well, not just England, but like, I don't know, Ireland and stuff like that. They have different labor parties and this and that. And like it's always switching up who's in charge.
Parties, exactly. I'm not really sure what to even search for, but they have a lot of different parties though, and it's like U.S. It's just so cut and dry. And then what the Republicans and the Democrats do to keep everybody off the ballot is just insane. I mean, it's just insane.
I heard a story about the Green Party. Her name is Dr. Jill Stein or something like that. She's running.
That's running for the president again. She ran last time too.
I heard I was watching something where she was telling a story about she tried to show up for one of the debates, and she was on the ballot, or she was supposed to be there. They fucking arrested her and detained her for like.
Yep, that was last year when she, not last year, but last presidential bid. She actually showed up for the debates. Like she should be allowed to debate. She's on the ballot in 20 states or 22 states, I think it was last time, and she was literally arrested from and not allowed to take part in the political debates, which is absolutely ridiculous. And going back to Jill Stein, I mean, she's a doctor. She graduated cum laude from Harvard, so she's probably the smartest person in the race. I mean, so you're letting the smartest voice. I mean, this is Idiocracy. You're probably familiar with that movie.
Indeed.
This is what we're living in now. You know, you literally cut the smartest person out of the room. You're like, you're not allowed to come in. You're too smart. We need two dumbasses, you know? And so that's why you're going to get Trump and Hillary most likely this time, which, you know, there's not really that much difference in either one of them, to be honest. Somebody like Bernie Sanders now, if he gets the Democratic ticket, that's going to be huge. But I just see Hillary probably getting it. And
they're not even
you know,
talking about him as like being a challenge. They're like, oh, what about Joe Biden? Like, fuck Joe Biden. Like, that's great if he wants to run, but Sanders has been out there for a couple months now. Nobody's even talking about him. But like most people I encounter have something good to say about his point of view.
He's running. I saw that Donald Trump was actually leading the Republicans, and I kind of just grimaced a little bit because, I mean, that guy is such a tool, and just the things he came out saying, let's build a fence around, you know, that's not the solution for everything. We're talking about breaking down international borders, not building them up, you know. Yeah. I mean, that's the one thing that I just don't get. I mean, the fence around the country really doesn't help at all, and people will still get in the country, and it's just absolutely mind-blowing that you'd waste. Just think of how much money that could go to, like, fund a healthcare system or a school system. We're going to build a fucking fence, and then we're going to put armed guards on the fence just because Donald Trump will feel safer in his, you know, condo basically that has a fence around it as well, because he probably lives in a gated community. So this is what's happened in the United States, and it's been going on for a long time, and it's the division of wealth, you know. And I think that if you look at what's happened, you can look back at The Economist, which is a pretty good magazine. I don't know if you've ever heard of it.
No.
And one of the articles, it showed these buildings, and one of the skyscrapers just way up there, and it's basically the rich and the rest of us. And the reason is because we're never going to be rich. You know, there's not a ladder to get up the building right now. It's like they're so rich, they control everything. And, you know, even thinking that the middle class could ever even be rich is just kind of a pipe dream these days. I mean, maybe if you were a stellar athlete and you could, you know, Buster Posey or something, you could get a $100 million contract. Of course, you don't get all of that. A lot of it's taken, and that would make you sort of rich, but you're still not Donald Trump rich, and you never will be. So, you know, it's one of the problems with society now. It's actually the problem with our government, and that's, you know, if you look at Dianne Feinstein's money compared to someone of me, or her husband is one of the richest people in the state. These people shouldn't be in politics.
How do we fix it? What do we got to do to change it?
I think
let's phrase that so it's not taken the wrong way.
You know, I think the way to fix it is that you have to share more. For every person, you got to look at it this way: for every person that's really, really rich, there has to be some really, really poor people, and there has to be a lot of them. So if you're taking it's like if you had a glass of water and you drank 3/4 of it, and you had 50 other people in the room, well, they get the rest of that, you know. And I think that people need to look at politics like that. Otherwise, we're going to be in the same boat forever. And with the control that they have with this money, as we can see with the PACs and Citizens United, they can literally control politics, and there's nothing we can do about it. And they're going to sway opinions, just like they did with the Planned Parenthood thing. You know, I had pretty crazy posts on Facebook from conservative friends that, did you see they're selling body parts? Because they don't have the facts, you know, and the facts that are given to them are very controlled by the political parties that control the media. You know, we already know Fox is Rupert Murdoch. I mean, the guy's Australian. He's not even a U.S. citizen. So just the things that they will go and say are completely ludicrous, and they aren't factual at all. And this is a news outlet. You know, this is supposed to be truth. And so these people that see this think that this is an actual truth, and it's not. It has nothing to do with truth. It's not facts. It's sad to see. It really is sad to see, to be honest, because, you know, even when I was growing up in the 70s and 80s, things were a lot better than they are now politically, and the wealth was divided a lot more. So I think as you see more and more of this, you're basically looking at royalty. We're back. Yeah, we're back to kings and queens. There's no difference. Just the titles have changed.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I think that the way you change this is you look more of a socialist society where, you know, we're not talking Russia here. We're talking about common goals. I mean, people work together for something, then everybody should share. If there's, like, going back to the glass of water, if there's only a glass of water left, then everyone in the room should get an equal part. not because someone's better than the other person should they get more. So, and that's exactly what's happening in this society. And it doesn't really come down to hard work like people say, well, these people work for it or whatever. No, most of these people were actually born into this. So,
well, yeah, if you take any time to look at who, like, not even, it doesn't even take that, like, you don't even have to look back that far. Like, come on, man, the fucking Bushes are going for a third fucking run at it. It's like, man, and if you go even further back, like who these people supported before they were in power, like this has been going on for millennia, and it has started with the kings and queens, and basically it doesn't even have to be a bloodline, even though they are related in one way or the other. You know what I'm saying? Like they're tied with the money.
That's an interesting subject, the Bush family fortune, and that would go back to Prescott Bush, who was actually a money launderer for the Nazis. So the Bush family fortune is actually built off of Nazi money because he was part of the American Nazi Party. And, you can look at all the evidence there, and it's actually facts. It's not like I'm making it up or something. I mean, literally, the entire Bush family legacy is built off of Nazi money. And that goes back to the Nazi, to the whole war. We built half of the German army because our corporations went over there and made deals with the Nazis. I actually have an interesting article on it downstairs. I was in the San Francisco paper, and it really lays out how GM basically conducted business with they played both, the corporations played both sides of the war, basically.
That way they could be a winner no matter what, right?
Either way. Yep. And they made money on it. They profited off from it. So people don't believe me, and my grandma's even told me, love it or leave it over this. And bottom line, it's actual truth. It's fact. It's not. I told her I'm not making this up. This is, this is in books. This is, you can read this stuff. It goes back to the control of the money in the world banks and what has happened with money in general. It's goes back to the Rothschilds and the Morgans and all these people that literally basically said, we don't need a standing army. What we need is control of the money, and they have control of the money through the Federal Reserve. So people don't really realize how deep this is, but it's a huge problem. And I think that half of it is that everyday citizens can't really even comprehend this. If you're working 2 jobs and you're trying to put a kid to school and you're doing this and that, you're not really talking about this, nor do you want to talk about it. So,
right. I mean, I think that's kind of an ignorance veil that's accepted. Like, because I want to question when did the people stop paying attention to shit like this? But I'm not sure that the majority of people ever gave a shit enough, to stop grinding and paying their taxes and doing what they thought what they had to do to support the country, because that was the patriotic thing. And I used to consider myself Captain America, but now I'm like, what? Maybe that's fucked up, because the whole patriot thing is supporting something that I can't get with. You know what I'm saying? Like the thing that this country has become, I'm not proud of, and I can't fly my flag behind that shit. You know what I mean? But when do you
I was under the that this was the best country in the world and what we did was the best things, and then I became older and I started looking at what this country really does to the rest of the world, and I don't think that going to other countries and economically hitting them in ways, and we literally have economic hitmen that go write contracts with our companies and we screw them out of their natural resources, we screw them out of this, or we bomb them. You're not going to make friends that way. And for every nation that we bomb, we create 1 million freaking people that hate us. So you can't go around the world doing what we're doing and then think like we're the greatest country in the world, because we're not. We're like way down the list and everything. You look at healthcare and education and all this stuff. America's not in the top, and it's probably never going to be at this rate. So it's a huge problem in our society. I don't really know how you come out of this. I mean, it's probably going to take a revolution or something, because if the people can maintain their power the way they're maintaining it, you're looking at 1984, especially with computers and everything, the way things are going. The thought police, that's right around the corner, dude.
Well, I mean, yeah, they're working on the PC, the whole being PC thing. You got to watch what you say on the internet, or you got to watch what you say if you're a comedian or a musician. Like, once they start attacking your fucking, like, basic free speech to say whatever the fuck you want to say, like, that's like the last step. Like, you know what I mean? So your freedoms you're done, dude. You're done. You can't speak out. You can't act out.
You can't. They're watching all you, and the NSA is probably listening to this right now, and they're like, this guy.
Triple fingers up for them motherfuckers. I give a shit. Come get me. I ain't afraid of jail, and I ain't afraid to die. Fuck you guys. We're going to do what we got to do.
you know what they do is they do little things. They make it so you can't fly. They make it so you can't do this. You can't do that. You know, and it's like they make fake Facebook pages. So you log into a fake. They've gone to such extremes. You know, this has all been exposed by Edward Snowden, and you know, nothing's changed.
That's getting worse and worse, right? Like they're killing people's character. Like we don't even know if that's right or wrong, or if it's the truth or not, because they put so much work into destroying people. Like,
you know, we had a way that laws were set up in this country, and they literally have skirted every single one of them. And this was during the Bush presidency. I mean, that guy was such a, oh my gosh, don't even get me into it. But man, what they did, the neocons, the neoconservatives, which is still a group, what they did was pretty astronomical, the way they have changed everything. I mean, just it's unbelievable, really. I mean, you're talking about preemptively striking people. Like that right there, there's such a problem with that. I mean, we don't even know, like, what you have. Because we think you're a threat, we're going to bomb you. You know, I mean, how many countries are going to sit there and take that crap? You know, sooner or later, they're going to be like, we fucking hate Americans. So when you see them burning our flags or saying they hate us, it's because we forced them into that. You know, we're not the country that drops candy bars anymore or helps out, you know, build your water foundation thing. We bomb you. And, you know, it's the problem. We spend more money than anybody else in the world on military. It's huge. It's just, when you think of defunding Planned Parenthood, what the Planned Parenthood budget is compared to the Pentagon budget, it's just ridiculous. You don't even know why we'd even be talking about defunding something like that. We should defund a couple aircraft carriers or something, you know? I mean, we don't need to police the world, you know? It's like, I agree, there's corrupt governments, and one of those governments probably is the United States government. And it's not that I'm not patriotic, it's that I've taken the time to actually research the facts on what the American government has become.
Well, it's not even that hard to, like, okay, you got to do your research to chase the money and to prove your point, but if you're allowed to look at the state of affairs of the world and see how not how that's portrayed, how the rest of the world feels about us, but how it actually is, man. Like, it's not that hard to fucking see. You know what I mean?
It's not that hard to see. And we would know because we could talk to people all over the world. You know, playing video games, you meet people from Israel to Egypt to whatever, you know, and they're cool people. And that's the thing. This is about breaking the international borders because the borders are set up for a purpose, and they're sectioning off people is what they're doing. You know, and it's not giving the people the voice. The governments are not set up to basically help people. And the reason you would set up government is to establish, you know, programs for people to help them out. Why else would you set up a government? You would set up a government to attack the people next to you. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense.
No, diplomacy isn't about destroying. It's about building friendships and bridges to help each other.
Exactly. You know, I mean, and then it's also about a common goal too. Like, you know, if some country's just completely crazy, like North Korea, you know, they have concentration camps in North Korea. You know, then you take action against that country. You don't bomb them. You sanction them, and you do this and that. You tell them this is wrong until they change. And I think that the way that America has gone about things since the Iraq War is a bit wrong. Obama's been obviously a lot better than Bush, but he still has kept the wars up. He hasn't pulled the troops out, and it's still the same. You know, nothing's really changed that much. He's talking about the trade agreement now.
Boo. Boo.
Yeah, boo, boo. Go back to free trade is not fair trade. So the transatlantic partnership, which didn't go too well in Hawaii, glad to say. They didn't finalize the deal. Very nice. So the TPP was actually voted down to this point and is not going forward. And those are type of things that will actually supersede the laws of our own country.
Hey, I don't want to cut you off because I want to continue this conversation. But are you going to be around for a little bit? Can I take a 5-minute break and come right back?
Yeah, take a 5-minute break.
All right. I got to take care of the baby, smoke a real quick cigarette. But this TPP shit is kind of where I want to start off again when we come back. Because I've tried to explain it to my wife, and I'm like, she's like, how do you know? But I'm like, I can't really explain it. I can only tell you how I feel. Like, it's in my heart, and I know what they're trying to achieve, whether it be through, you know, people slipping out information or it's just a gut feeling. You know what I mean? That thing is not going to work out well for us as a nation. Like, it might work out well for like a globalist fucking agenda, but this nation will be fucked if that type of shit goes on.
It will. It totally will.
But if you don't mind, dude, I'm gonna sign out and I'll be back in like 5 minutes, dude. Hopefully you can jump back on.
Sounds good.
All right, brother. I'll be back. Thank you. We'll be back, people.